Introduction to Real Estate in India. Welcome friends. In this module, we will learn about real estate, its history, and explore the real estate world in detail. History. Indian real estate dates back to 1970 when HUDCO was established. Major finance corporations that emerged at that time were HDFC, ICICI, LIC, Birla Home Finance, Sundaram Home Finance, Reliance, IDBI, and General Electric. In all, there are 58 housing companies, and 29 out of which were registered with National Housing Bank Finance for refinance purposes. The first major turning point in the Indian real estate sector came in 1997 when the market conditions first began to favor the purchaser. Builders realized that the markets had turned into a buyer's market. They changed their strategy by going for volumes rather than margins. The result was simple: fall in prices that further fueled demand and need for housing finance enhanced. There was a fall in monopoly. From 1999 to 2004, loan interests started falling in both housing and housing finance. Factors like increase in price of petroleum, increase in credit usage, and uncertain political levels affected the rates after 2004. The rates went up easy 30% per annum in terms of housing loans. Most banks entered in the retail lending sector because of the fear of NPAs, non-performing assets. Scams. The lack of technical expertise of banks and venture capitalists and funds, which was started in 2007, were being fully exploited by scammers. Scammers found loopholes in the system and availed multiple loans against the same property through forged papers. Thus, specialists like Housing Development Finance Corporation (HDFC) and Life Insurance Corporation Housing Finance Limited (LIC-HFL) continued to be the market leaders. The major downfall was experienced by banks like Citibank, Standard Chartered, and ABN Direct Sale Agent (DSA). Small loans. Risk is inherent in any commercial activity, and banking is no exception to this rule. Two major factors that help contain risks are harsh recovery mechanism, group lending model. Without adopting any of these, microfinance organizations would end up with bad loans. Parshvanath Housing and many others who offered small loans with noble intentions had to close operations because of the risk of inherent risk to this market segment. Risk management. How to forefront today's financial system. Increase deregulation, introduction to innovative products, flexible delivery channels. The National Housing Habitat Policy. The National Housing and Habitat Policy 1998 was the first comprehensive policy of legislation in housing sector. It also paved the way for abolition of the Urban Land Ceiling Act (ULCA) and the Delhi Rent Control Act. Housing programs and policies have the potential to affect the entire housing market or significant portions of it. Affordable housing has become today a reality for most urban Indians. In this context, the release of the National Urban Housing and Habitat Policy 2007 is a welcome development that ushers the next generation reforms in the sector. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Current government started Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana (PMAY) and gave many subsidies in interest on housing these affordable housing units in the country, and also encouraged state housing boards to construct more affordable houses for economically weaker society of India. The aim is to have housing for all 2022. The interest and principal subsidy were given up to Rs 2.32 lakhs to help lower strata of society and economical weaker section of society. The reduced rate of interest on housing loans is broadening the customer base of the housing finance companies and at the same time giving much needed relief to loan seekers. In PMAY, the subsidy given to affordable housing segment was of great help to reduce the demand and supply gap in affordable segment of housing. Did you know? Real estate and housing sector in India is super important. Why? Every rupee that is invested in the construction of houses, 78 paisa is added to the GDP of the country. It is also the second largest employment generating sector in this country. Problems of housing finance sector. This policy addresses how housing shortage compounded with the population explosion. Later, Housing for All in 2022 was mooted by Narendra Modi government. The research is based on the assumption that since the need for such policy existed in every 5-year plans, hence problems do persist in housing and in housing finance sector. Not all banks remain in the housing financing sector. There are two reasons. When the demand for industrial short-term credit rises, banks will move funds to that sector where they are more comfortable. Many banks have burned their fingers due to lack of knowledge on technical, market and legal aspects. At the moment, there is an element of cross-subsidization in pricing of loans by banks. Tie-ups with direct sale agents, DSA, results in fraud on the sales and recovery side. Industry-specific statistics. Housing and housing finance are capital-intensive major business. Housing finance institutions have perpetual problem of raising funds for deployment into their business. Raising funds from deposit is the safest. Problems with deposits are that they are up to 3 to 5 years. And at the same time, housing finance normally takes its tolls for 15 to 30 years. Hence, it is difficult to keep up the promise to return the deposits and regenerate it during the cycle time for a long-term loan portfolios. Hence, a bad practice identified by financial sector like borrowing for short-term and investment in long-term loans or assets persisted in housing finance process. What encourages loanees to pay faster? The equated monthly installment calculations on daily reducing balance basis used by many banks is most desirable. This will encourage the loanees to repay loans much faster. The housing finance companies should open their door to the informal sector, maybe in a planned way. The rate of default on repayment of loans is negligible, though industry standard has set it up to 2% even without the foreclosure laws, which proves that the flat purchasers value their property and repayment loans is on their priority list. Fund-starved real estate industry and its players do not get easy institutional finance. In the early 2000s to 2012, private equity fund and venture capitalists enter into the trade with specific goal to enhance IRR, sometimes beyond the IRRs. Builders got huge funding to constructions till 2006. RBI warned in 2006 to all banks and NBFCs that funding the real estate is sensitive exposure. Hence, banks stopped construction finance to private builders. In 2008, RBI again said that only those are eligible who are listed on browsers. Hence, we have seen 82 public offering IPOs from builders between 2008 and 2012. Big names like Omax, HDIL, Akruti, Ansals, and Unitech became in capital market funds. 2013 to present. The regime of processing charges must go now to provide relief to the customers. In fact, the builders now must be given liberty to guarantee his customers for taking loans. Subvention schemes were nothing but diluting the risks from builder to consumer. In event of failure of builder to repay the pre-EMI, onus again comes to the customer who have taken the loan and stand guaranteed. All subvention schemes were banned by RBI in 2017. In fact, the housing finance industry now needs broad-based reforms which are applicable to all housing finance companies. While disbursing the loans, housing finance companies mortgages the flat or the property for which they are giving the loan. This in itself is security enough so that there is no need for justification for asking guarantors additionally. In the COVID-19 stimulation package announced by the government, NHB was given pilot role to play the funds were allocated to bail out the housing finance sector. In concurrence with financial sector reforms, the amendments to the National Housing Bank Act 1987 are expected to encourage healthy competition among various players of the housing sector to result in easier availability of better quality products at affordable prices to the borrower. Documentation issue. Problems of proper documentation for getting clear mortgage is the major problem. Because of no proper land record in place and lack of positive support by office bearers of cooperative housing society, documentation sometimes get delayed by even months. In RERA regime, the problem of mortgage was not solved as the regulator do not give any protection to housing finance companies. In fact, many cases it had treated it as investors and not financiers. Frauds conspiracies even by professionals like chartered accountants were reported in newspapers. RBI have given again and again warnings to the banks by keeping a vigilant eye on the lending portfolios. Hence, banks have started raising interest rates. Competition. Besides fundraising and documentation, housing finance companies are facing stiff competition with the sector. Hence, competition. Besides fundraising and documentation, housing finance companies are facing stiff competition with the sector. Hence, keeping the interest rates low is major management exercise. Distribution of financial products are also needing major credit policy decision. Whereas, builders were finding it difficult to sell off their stock in trade as the market was low because of economic slowdown in 2019. The pressure of cost of fund was that it was eating away all their profits and they were merely working for fund houses who wanted to take over their projects for failure to repay the installments in time. Corrupt practices. Major corrupt practices were noticed that directly affected the market. Keeping the legal documents for a long time and decentralization of sanctioning power are major problem identified by this study for housing finance. Besides, keeping cost of funds low when the markets are not favorable for seller is big management exercise. A high manpower turnover ratio is also one of the major problems within the sector. Training and keep the employees motivated is very costly in the sector. Marketing staff who sits on the front desk have been reported cheated their employers by hand in glove with few brokers to siphon off brokerage and margins. Many times and often they ask the clients to give an unaccounted cash in the transactions without the knowledge of the builder, also goofed up the industry. Such corrupt practices were reported all over the country where housing finance branches were also involved, especially in the subvention schemes where the builder took the entire sanctioned loan in spite of sanction for stage-wise constructions.